The entertainment world has been shaken to its core. What started as whispers and unconfirmed gossip has now exploded into one of the most talked about scandals in years. Fans are stunned, insiders are whispering, and social media is in complete chaos. The story revolves around three familiar names: rapper T, his longtime partner Tiny, and their once close associate Shekinah. And at the heart of it all lies a leaked video. A video so controversial, so personal, that it's threatening to dismantle everything they've built. No one could have predicted how far this storm would spread. Screenshots, leaked clips, and cryptic messages have taken over every corner of the internet. But beyond the noise and speculation, one question remains unanswered. Who's telling the truth? Was this the result of betrayal, revenge, or a carefully calculated plan to expose secrets long buried? It all began with a single video upload, short, grainy, and mysterious. Within minutes, snippets of it began circulating online. Fans paused and replayed every second, trying to make sense of what they were watching. Rumors spread that the clip showed private conversations between T and another woman, with suggestions of hidden connections and financial support for a child that the public never knew existed. The implications were enormous. This wasn't just celebrity gossip, this was a direct threat to reputations, marriages, and million-dollar careers. As the clip went viral, it didn't take long for a familiar name to enter the conversation: Shekinah. Known for her outspoken personality and long history with both T and Tiny, she suddenly found herself accused of being the one who leaked the footage. Screenshots of her old messages resurfaced, and her silence only fueled suspicion. When she finally broke it with a cryptic Instagram post reading, "Not everything is what it seems," the internet went wild. Within hours, hashtags like Tiny Deserves Truth, T Secrets, and Shekinah Exposed began trending across social media. Fans were divided. Some defended Shekinah, claiming she was being framed, while others accused her of intentionally stirring chaos to get revenge or attention. Every post, every emoji, every phrase she shared became a clue in the eyes of online detectives. And while she was fighting to control the narrative, Tiny, the woman at the emotional center of it all, vanished completely. For years, Tiny had built her image on grace and loyalty. Through every past controversy, she had stood beside her husband, defending him publicly even when whispers of betrayal surfaced. But this time, her silence was deafening. Fans began to notice that she had gone completely offline. No posts, no statements, no appearances. And in the world of social media, silence can speak louder than words. Insiders began revealing that Tiny was devastated. According to close friends, she was spending sleepless nights replaying old conversations, wondering which parts of her life had been real and which were lies. They described her as broken, but also determined to find out who betrayed her and why. She wasn't ready to make a public statement yet, but those who knew her best said she was quietly planning her next move. Meanwhile, Shekinah's social media activity became a roller coaster of emotion. One night, she posted a video with tears in her eyes, whispering, "I didn't ask for this. I didn't want any of this." It was raw, unfiltered, and full of emotion, but it didn't clarify anything. Was it guilt, fear, or a warning that something bigger was coming? Fans were left dissecting every frame, analyzing her tone, and debating whether she was telling the truth or trying to save herself. As the internet tore itself apart trying to make sense of the chaos, T remained completely silent. For a man known for his confidence and control, his disappearance from public view was unsettling. Sources claimed he had been spending hours in his studio, pacing, phone in hand, talking to lawyers and advisors. His empire, built over years of hard work, was suddenly under threat not because of his rivals, but because of someone in his inner circle, someone who knew too much. Every day brought new so-called evidence. Anonymous accounts shared alleged text messages, audio clips, and behind-the-scenes stories. Gossip blogs uploaded reaction videos dissecting each detail. But through all the noise and speculation, no one could say for sure what was real and what was manipulation. The only certainty was that the truth was buried beneath layers of half-truths, jealousy, and betrayal. Tiny's absence became the internet's obsession. Fans speculated about her emotional state, her location, and her next move. Some claimed she was consulting lawyers, others believed she was gathering evidence to expose the truth herself. But no matter what the theories were, one thing was clear. The longer she stayed silent, the more power she seemed to gain. Her silence became a symbol of strength, and fans began to rally behind her, urging her to speak her truth when the time was right. Shekinah's world, however, was imploding. Every post she made was flooded with thousands of comments, some sympathetic, others outright hostile. People accused her of betrayal, of leaking private information for clout, of destroying friendships for attention. In response, she began posting vague captions that hinted at pressure and manipulation. At one point, she wrote, "They told me to do it. I was just trying to survive." The message was quickly deleted, but screenshots spread instantly, fueling more speculation than ever before. Behind the scenes, T's situation was getting worse. Sponsors began distancing themselves. Television projects and endorsements were suddenly under review. PR teams scrambled to manage the narrative, but with every new leak, their job became harder. Even longtime collaborators started questioning their association with him. For T, the scandal wasn't just about personal betrayal anymore. It was a full-blown professional crisis. And then came the audio leak. A short clip began circulating online, allegedly featuring a private conversation between two familiar voices. In the recording, someone could be heard referencing promises, keeping things quiet, and protecting the family. The clip was vague and its authenticity was questionable, but it was enough to reignite the storm. Fans analyzed every word, every pause, every breath. Some claimed it was undeniable proof of deceit. Others argued it had been edited to make him look guilty. By this point, the story had evolved far beyond a simple leaked video. It was a psychological drama unfolding in real time, with millions of people acting as both audience and jury. Everyone had an opinion, everyone had a theory. Some said it was all part of an elaborate revenge plot orchestrated by someone within T's team. Others believed it was a desperate act by a friend who had been pushed too far. And then there were those who thought the entire scandal was being used to distract from something even bigger, something the public didn't yet know. Amid the chaos, Tiny began to reappear, but subtly. She started liking selective posts from fans showing support, posting small but meaningful quotes about strength, healing, and truth. Her tone was calm but resolute, as though she had found clarity amid the storm. Insiders claimed she had begun consulting with publicists, family, and close friends, preparing to speak publicly, but only when she had full control of her story. For Tiny, this wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming power and defining herself on her own terms. The scandal had now become bigger than any of them could control. The court of public opinion had taken over. Conspiracy theories filled Reddit threads and comment sections. Some fans compared old interviews and public appearances, looking for subtle body language clues. Others dug into past financial records, trying to confirm the existence of the alleged hidden child mentioned in the leaks. Every detail became evidence. Every silence became an admission. And yet through it all, no one seemed to have the full story. The lines between victim and villain blurred. Was Shekinah really the mastermind behind the leak? Or had she been manipulated by someone higher up? Was T guilty of deception, or was he just the target of a calculated takedown? And what about Tiny? Had she known more than she let on, or was she another casualty in a game she never chose to play? By midweek, the situation was spiraling. Every hour brought new leaks, new theories, and new voices joining the conversation. Gossip blogs hosted live streams, fans debated endlessly in comment sections, and every move from T, Tiny, or Shekinah sent shockwaves through social media. Even casual viewers who had never followed them before
found themselves caught in the web of drama. Shekinah tried to regain control once more, posting a short, silent video of herself staring at her phone, eyes red, no caption. The internet erupted. Some said she had just received proof that someone had betrayed her. Others believed it was her way of apologizing without words. Either way, the silence spoke volumes. Meanwhile, T was running out of time. Every denial he offered seemed to backfire. Every clarification raised more questions. People inside his team began leaking information to the press, trying to protect their own reputations. For someone who had spent his career crafting an image of composure and authority, the unraveling was painful to watch. He wasn't just fighting for his career anymore. He was fighting for his legacy. Through all of it, Tiny's transformation became the most compelling part of the story. Friends described her as quietly strategic, someone who had been blindsided but was now regaining her footing. She had stopped reacting and started planning. Late at night, she held private meetings with advisors and family members, mapping out her next steps. Every post she shared was intentional, each one signaling that she was ready to speak, not as a victim, but as a woman reclaiming her narrative. And perhaps that's why the world can't look away. Because at its heart, the story isn't just about fame, betrayal, or scandal. It's about power. Who controls the story, who manipulates the truth, and who finds the courage to speak when everything falls apart.
However, Tiny didn't speak at first. She didn't post, didn't respond, didn't issue a statement. But for those who really knew her, that silence wasn't peace. It was a warning. Because Tiny's quiet was never empty. It was the kind that came before something big, before she made a move that no one would see coming. Sitting in her living room, phone in hand, she scrolled through endless comments. Every word seemed to cut deeper than the last. She could hear her team in the background whispering, phones ringing, and the constant ping of notifications. But through all that noise, one thought kept echoing in her mind like a broken record. Who would do this? And then it hit her. There was only one person who had been close enough, trusted enough, and familiar enough with her and T to have that kind of access. One person who had been around long enough to know their habits, their home, their trust. That person was none other than her longtime friend Shekinah Anderson. For years, the two women had been inseparable. They had laughed together, cried together, argued like sisters, and always found their way back to each other. But that night, as Tiny stared at her phone, she felt something she'd never felt before: complete disbelief. Her hands trembled, her eyes welled up, not from sadness this time, but from fury. She whispered to herself, almost in denial. She wouldn't, she couldn't. But deep down, she already knew the truth. Within an hour, Tiny's team had their confirmation. The metadata, the upload time, the file trail, all of it pointed back to one source: Shekinah. The realization hit Tiny like a punch to the chest. Betrayal always hurts, but it cuts deeper when it comes from someone you called family. Without thinking twice, she grabbed her keys, threw on a hoodie, and told her assistant, "Don't call me, I'll handle this myself." That's when the calm turned into action. Atlanta nights feel heavier when you're angry. The air gets thicker, the streets feel quieter, and every light you pass feels like it's watching you. As Tiny drove through the city, her jaw clenched and her thoughts spiraled. This wasn't just a scandal, this was humiliation. Her marriage was being questioned, her loyalty mocked, her privacy shattered, all by someone she once trusted with everything. When Tiny pulled up to Shekinah's place, she didn't knock politely. She pounded on the door until it swung open. Shekinah appeared, half asleep, confusion written across her face, but the second their eyes met, her expression shifted. She already knew. "You did it, didn't you?" Tiny's voice trebled, but her eyes were cold. "Tiny, listen," Shekinah started, but Tiny cut her off before she could finish. "Don't lie to me. You leaked that video. You betrayed me. You put my family on blast for clout." Shekinah's lips parted, her voice shaking as she tried to explain. "Tiny, I swear I didn't mean for it to get out. I didn't think it would," but Tiny wasn't having it. "You didn't think? No, you did think. You just wanted attention. You've been jealous for years, haven't you? You've always wanted my spot, my piece, my name, and you couldn't stand to see me happy." The confrontation grew heated. Neighbors peeked through blinds, a dog barked in the distance, and the tension was thick enough to cut through.
Tiny's voice cracked with emotion, her anger mixed with heartbreak. After everything I did for you, after all of the times I stood by you when people clowned you, this is how you repay me? Shekinah's eyes filled with tears. Tiny, please, I didn't mean it like that. But it was too late. The betrayal had already burned too deep. Tiny turned away, her voice low but sharp. You're done. Don't ever speak my name again. She stormed off, leaving Shekinah frozen in the doorway, her tears falling onto the pavement. By morning, word had already spread that Tiny had shown up at Shekinah's place. The blogs were running wild. Paparazzi caught photos of Tiny storming back to her car, face tight with fury. That same night, Tiny made her move. She unfollowed Shekinah on Instagram, deleted every photo they had together, and then she went live. The internet exploded. Thousands of fans joined the live within seconds, waiting to hear what she had to say. Her tone was calm, but her pain was visible. I never thought I'd have to do this, she said, her voice trembling slightly. But betrayal hits different when it comes from someone you called family. Some people don't deserve access to your life. Some people don't deserve your loyalty. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. Everyone knew exactly who she was talking about.
Minutes later, Shekinah jumped on her own live, crying, panicking, and trying to explain herself. I didn't mean to hurt Tiny, she sobbed. Y'all twisting it. I didn't leak nothing. It was just an accident. But no one was buying it. Receipts started circulating almost immediately. Screenshots showing Shekinah sending that same video in a group chat weeks before the leak. The proof was undeniable. Her followers turned on her. Comments flooded her page, calling her a snake, a traitor, a cloud chaser. People in the industry began unfollowing her. Brand deals were quietly canceled. Appearances were pulled. Within hours, her reputation was crumbling in real time. While the internet was tearing Shekinah apart, T.I. remained silent. His quiet only fueled more questions. Fans started to wonder, why wasn't he saying anything? Was he angry with Tiny for reacting publicly, or was he hiding something? Behind closed doors, sources say T.I. was livid, not just at Shekinah, but at himself. The video was from a private moment he believed would never see the light of day. Now his name, his marriage, and his family were being dragged through the mud. When he finally sat down with Tiny, the conversation wasn't calm. Voices were raised, emotions ran high. You let her around us too much, he said, pacing the room. I told you she talks too much. Tiny shot back instantly. Don't you dare put this on me. She was supposed to be our friend. She was supposed to protect us. The argument ended in silence. Two people broken, not from lack of love, but from shattered trust. Because when your private life becomes public without consent, something inside you changes forever. Days turned into weeks. Shekinah tried everything to reach out. She sent long texts, left emotional voicemails, even posted an apology video. Tiny, I'm sorry, I messed up. I just want to fix this. But Tiny didn't respond. Instead, she focused on regaining control. She called her lawyers, tightened her circle, and vowed to protect her family's peace at all costs. Word spread through Atlanta that Tiny was preparing to take legal action. People close to her claimed that it wasn't about revenge, it was about respect. She wanted to set a precedent, to remind people that not everything in her life was for the internet. The lawsuit rumors grew stronger, and before long, Shekinah's once bold personality faded from public view. She stopped showing up at events, turned off her comments, and went completely silent online. Her confidence, once her trademark, had disappeared. Meanwhile, Tiny began to heal, slowly, quietly, and on her own terms. She started spending more time with her family, posting moments of peace and happiness, never addressing the situation directly again. Her silence spoke louder than any words could. She didn't have to explain herself, she didn't have to prove anything. Her calm became her power. Then, one night, at a major music event, T.I. stepped onto the red carpet for the first time since the scandal. His energy was different, calmer, colder, but grounded.
When a reporter asked him about the situation, he didn't dodge the question. Instead, he looked straight into the camera and said, "Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who do the most damage. But karma's coming. Don't worry about that." That one sentence broke the internet. It was reposted everywhere, dissected, debated, and interpreted in 1,000 different ways. But everyone understood the message. After that, the narrative shifted. It was no longer just about Tiny versus Shekinah. It became a conversation about friendship, loyalty, and the cost of fame. People began revisiting old clips of the two friends together, analyzing their body language, wondering if the tension had always been there. Some fans claimed they had seen the jealousy all along, while others believed Tiny had simply outgrown her. The truth was messy, complicated, and deeply human. Fame had turned a sisterhood into a battlefield. Months later, the two women found themselves at the same event. Cameras were everywhere waiting for drama. Tiny walked in composed, graceful, her energy untouchable. Shekinah, on the other hand, stayed toward the back, her eyes filled with regret. At one point, she tried to walk over, maybe to apologize, maybe to explain, but security stepped in before she could get close. The clip went viral instantly. Tiny, calm and collected, walking past without even a glance. Fans called it the final goodbye. And maybe it was.
Because the truth is, when someone betrays you like that, there's no going back. You can forgive, but you'll never forget. You can move on, but you'll never look at them the same way again. Tiny had learned the hardest lesson, that not everyone who sits at your table is rooting for you, that loyalty means nothing to those who see your pain as an opportunity for attention. And as for Shekinah, she learned that clout fades faster than trust, that the internet may forgive, but it never forgets. Atlanta was reminded that night that fame can give you money, attention, and power, but it can't buy loyalty. And when trust is broken in public, the fallout isn't just loud, it's permanent. Now, as the days pass, the chaos only grows deeper. More leaks are rumored, more voices are stepping forward, but still, no one knows the full truth. Is this all a calculated setup designed to destroy T's empire from the inside? Did Shekinah act alone, or is she being used as a scapegoat? And where does Tiny truly stand in all this? Heartbroken wife, silent strategist, or secret mastermind? The truth might take months, maybe years to fully surface. But one thing's for sure, this is no longer just celebrity gossip. This is a real-life drama that's unfolding before millions of eyes. And every new revelation feels like another twist in a story that refuses to end. So now it's your turn. What do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Is Shekinah guilty, or is she being framed by someone close to T? Did Tiny finally uncover the truth and decide to take control of the situation? Or is there still a bigger story waiting to explode? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear every theory, every take, every angle.